question 4, matrix question. Part A, no problem. Just copying down the numbers only. Okay, part B, evaluating, it's a matrix multiplication. Most of you got it correct. Those who got it wrong, mostly due to careless mistakes. So practice. Part C, okay. Part C, we know that based on our strategy, before we do the matrix multiplication, we want to write down what the elements represent in the first place, right? So I have model A, model B, model C, and then I have the S for Sembawang, W for Woodlands. So by writing these down, it will help me answer part C what they represent. Okay, so that was for matrix J. Then on the right side, I have matrix P. So SP over here, referring to the selling price, and then the profit, model A, B, and C. After we do the matrix multiplication, notice that all the A's, all of these A, B, C, and A, B, C, they are the same. So they sort of disappear. And what is left will be this. S and P, over here, S and P. And on the other side, Sembawang and Woodlands, Sembawang and Woodlands. Okay, so what this represents is that this first element refers to, it is related to Sembawang. It is related to the total SP. The correct term to be using is revenue. Okay, so the elements represent the revenue and the total profit for Sembawang and Woodlands outlets respectively. Okay, all this based on the last matrix that we get after we do the multiplication. Part D suggests a matrix M such that the elements of ML represents the total revenue, total profit. So we've seen this style of question before. It is just 1, 1. The problem is identifying the correct order. Is it one row by 2 columns, or 2 columns, or 2 rows by 1 column? You have only 2 options, right? You might as well do your guess and check. One of it is possible. The other 2 rows and 1 column not possible to multiply with the other matrix. So this was still alright. And part E, in order to boost the sales, the boss, he decided to reduce the selling price by 5%. Now, when he decides to reduce, hey, stop copying first. When he decides to reduce the selling price, does his cost price change? No, right? Whatever amount of money that he paid to purchase those phones didn't change. What changed was his selling price. So it will be useful to find out what was the total amount that he paid for the phones initially. Okay, and how we do that is I find the profit in June 1st. Then I find the revenue. Your revenue minus the profit must be your total cost of the phones. This is the fixed value, regardless whether it is in which month is it, whether it is June or July or whatever. The total cost of the phones that you paid will be a constant. You want an ECF, you come and show me your work. Maybe you can get it. Have. Okay, so now I have the total cost of the phones. I can find the new profit, which is the new revenue minus the total cost. So the new revenue was just 95% of 95150. Then you subtract away the constant, which is the cost, the amount that you paid for the phones. And this will be our new profit. can follow this logic. Yuling, can you see clearly from there? Okay, moving on. Question 5, graph question. 5a. We have P to be equals to 41 over 6 or 6.8333, which is approximately 6.83 to 3SF. But there actually isn't a need to, because we have the exact value. It's just that the table, right, you have all the values given with decimal places, so I'll accept decimal places if you want to be consistent. Then part B, drawing the graph. Okay, your graph should look like this. Again, where are the 3 marks allocated for the graph? First, you show me the correct scale. Your x and y axis, according to the question, 2 cm to 1 unit, you get 1 mark. You show me all the crosses, every single point correctly marked out, you get another point, another mark. And finally, joining them up with a smooth curve, you get the final mark. Ryan, your graph is horrible. How can you bear to submit that graph? Because it is obviously wrong. No, you got 2 marks. You did not join out. You got everything correct, but you didn't join out with a smooth curve. Yeah, did you know that it was wrong when you drew it? Huh? Then? Cannot get a smooth curve. You have spent so many years practicing. Don't just give up on that 1 mark. Are you sure? Show me, Ryan. Alright, Ryan, you show me yours. That's because you know yours is equally bad, right? Or worse. I think yours is still worse. Okay. Anyway, you know what a smooth graph is supposed to look like. You try to edit it. Okay, don't give up on that 1 mark. Now part C, use your graph to find the solution to 1 over 6x cubed, blah blah blah. How come you all cannot do this, huh? Part C. Okay, part C, where are the 2 marks? First, we start with whatever is required. This is what they want us to find out. Okay, solution. Then we compare it with our drawn graph, which is 1 over y equals to, we already have this graph, 1 over 6x cubed minus 2x plus 5. You get the meta marks for error carried forward. You don't get full marks up. It depends on how the marks are allocated. Okay, so right now I have this in my graph. I want to make it look like this, the underlying part. So what are the steps that we should do? You have to make one look like the other, right? So from here, we make it look like our drawn graph. This part that I'm going to highlight is what we have drawn the graph for already. So how do I make the given question 1 over 6 x cubed minus x plus 5 over 2 equals to 0 look like the yellow highlighted part? I need to, for a start, I need to subtract x on both sides. Once I do that, I have 1 over 6 x cubed minus 2x. Then on the other side, 0 minus x, I get negative x. So now it is starting to look like what we have already plotted. We have the 1 over 6 x cubed term, we have the minus 2x term. The next part is that we need to plus 5. Then over here I add 5. Now, on my left hand side, I have an equation, I have terms which are already plotted out in my graph. And on the right hand side, in our graph, it is plus 5, right? Okay. Oh, sorry, yeah. Thank you. This should have been plus 2.5. Over here, plus 2.5. Okay, that is how I get negative x plus 2.5. So what do I need to plot? It will be the green color part. Do you see that this equation that I'm underlining and the yellow and green equation, they are equivalent. They are equivalent equations. I can simplify my yellow and green equation to look like what is underlined in red. They are equivalent. You need to accept that first. You need to convince yourself of that. So, in order to solve this underlined equation, I am trying to solve this second equation, the yellow and green one. And how do I solve the yellow and green equation? Graphically, I need to draw two graphs. What are the two graphs? The yellow one and the green one. The yellow one is already drawn. That is the whole purpose of manipulating the original equation to look like this. Okay? And the other graph we need to draw will be y equals to negative x plus 5 over 2. So we draw that in, and we find the intersection point. Y equals to negative x plus 5 over 2. Label it part C. We are looking for a point of intersection over here. So identify it, drop a dotted line down. Instead, part C, my value is negative 3.25. So that is my answer for part C. 1 mark for drawing the correct graph. 1 mark for getting the correct solution at the back of your page. Okay, there is an accepted range, negative 3.4 to negative 3.15. Any questions? Guarantee you, this type of question will come out. Said it before already, it did come out. O-levels, expect to see it again. If you don't know how to do it, during consultation or after lessons, find a time and ask me or ask your friends. This is a 2-mark question. It makes a difference between an A1 and an A2, or C or B. And don't forget, for everybody in this band, your target is A. Yeah, I just talked about part C. Now for part D, drawing a gradient, find the tangent when x is equal to negative 3.5. There is only one intersection point. Okay, so part D, find the gradient when x is equal to negative 3.5. So find where is this 3.5, okay? On my graph, this is 3.5. Then draw a tangent line. In my case, I draw very long tangent line so that I have the luxury of choosing 2 convenient points to read from. What's the point of drawing a small tangent line? Does it save you time? What are the benefits of drawing a small tangent line? Don't have. None. But drawing a long tangent line increases the accuracy of your results, of your gradient. You have more points to choose from. You are reducing the error if you choose 2 points that are far apart. So label down the coordinates that you are using to calculate your gradient. Okay? So my gradient is, according to my graph, 3.98. By calculation, the most exact answer will be 4.125. There is a range that we accept. I accepted quite a wide range, as long as your gradient looks decent. Any questions? Then on the same axis, draw the line y equals to 4x plus 4. Okay, this one. Those who attempted did well. So that means some of you didn't even attempt. You thought that the first part you couldn't do, so you just don't care about the last few parts of the question. This question doesn't require you to be able to get the first few parts correct in order to get the full marks. So one line, label it. I have students who drew graphs, but no labels. Then am I supposed to guess which line is for which question? You don't label your graph, you don't label the question, then how? I cannot guess and give you the benefit of the doubt. Because over here I have many lines. Write down the x coordinate where they intersect. So one line, one intersection point, 0.15. For this one, I gave an ECF. So with an intersection point to your graph, I just gave you the mark. Then part E, part 2. This value of x is a solution to ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d equals to 0. Then find the values of a, b, c, and d. There are many possible answers that are accepted. So how do we find these values? In part 2, intersection between a line and a curve, we have a value of x. Mathematically speaking, we are solving simultaneous equations. When two graphs intersect, we are solving simultaneous equations. So what are the two graphs that are intersecting? We have our curve. Intersecting y equals to 4x plus 4. So if we solve those two simultaneously, what do we get? First equation, y equals to 1 over 6 x cubed minus 2x plus 5. This is my first equation. Second equation is y equals to 4x plus 4. Solving them simultaneously, I will get 1 over 6 x cubed minus 2x plus 5 is equals to 4x plus 4. So when I solve them simultaneously, I will get an intersection point over here, 0.15. And this is what I get. Okay, my curve and a straight line. Manipulate it. Make it of the form ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d equals to 0. So over here I have my a. Then b. b is a x squared term. I don't have any x squared term, right? So b is equals to 0. c is negative 6. And d is positive 1. What other answers are accepted? You could have chosen to multiply throughout by 6. So you will get a equals to 1, b equals to 0, c equals to negative 36, and d equals to 6. And any other possible answers with the same ratio. Yes? Okay. You can choose to stay here for that. Okay, so this is for E part 3. You are E part 3, correct?
Wrong.
Then do you know how to do it already? Oh, you have tuition.
Tuition, study partner.
Who is your study partner?
Uni student, my friend,
Oh, okay. Okay, done with this? Okay, now, let us go back to this graph. If I were to read this value over here, so I need to find points of intersection, right?
I don't know how to do vectors.
Let's say for part C, I'm trying to find this intersection point. Then I drop down the dotted line and it comes to this point. Over here. What is this value? This is negative 3, negative 3.5. Then over here will be negative 3.25. Make sense? But do you notice that, hey, my dotted line actually falls slightly more closer to the left-hand side? So according to my drawing, it looks like it should be negative maybe 3.3 or 3.35, so on and so forth. Why did I choose negative 3.25? Because the smallest I can read is always half a square. In this case, it will be negative 3.25. Even though it is closer to one side of the little square, I cannot estimate to an extent that is more precise than half of a square. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Then how can you get 0.1? And I'm...
Part 2
Yeah, part 2 is the same logic. So over here...
Answer is not is 1 and 2
Okay, although my answer in this what? CE part 2, right? Although in part 2 I say I allow this 0.1 to 0.2, the issue comes when you read values that are not possible to be read. In this case, how much is one tiny square is 0.1, right? So half of a tiny square is 0.05, meaning the possible answers you can read will be 0, 0.05, 0.1, 0.15, 0.2, 0.25. You cannot read a value that says 0.17. Isn't that what I've been saying? Okay?
Like that you put the accepted range like that, or you just put 3 numbers there.
Yeah, I could have. But when we mark, we know what to look out for.
It's like 0.5
What do you mean it doesn't look like 0.5?
Because it's like in the middle of 0.5 and 2.
Middle of 0.5 and 2?
0.15 and 2.
This over here is 0.1. This one over here is 0.2. So what's in the middle?
Then if right, your number like this is 0.5, right? This
Yeah.
then if your number is in between that,
That's why I'm saying we cannot read to small. Yes, 0.15 in this case. Understand or not?
just put 3 numbers there, put 1 range for what?
Okay.
I didn't know this kind of thing existed.
Have I said this before in lessons?
I don't know, I never listen, right?
Then,
Wow,
now is it time to listen already?
No.
Your choice, huh? Okay, question 6, the circle question. State a line segment that is tangent to circle number 2 and justify your answer with reasons clearly. There are 2 options, either DE or DG. What is the reason? Okay, let me bring out the diagram. Yes. Okay. 6A. Most of you can identify the line segment that is tangent to C2. So C2 is my bigger circle. This is C2 over here. Either DE or DG will be a tangent. What is the reason? Tangent lines, they are perpendicular to the radius of a circle. Okay, so in other words, I am asking you to prove that this is a right angle. Either that or this one. So how do we know that it is a right angle? It is because angles in a semicircle. So this P over here is the center for the smaller circle. This is my diameter. So this will be a right angle triangle since it is in a semicircle. Presentation wise, we state that DEQ is 90 degrees because state the reason. Then since tangent to circle is perpendicular to the radius, therefore DE is tangent to C2. So there are two types of proofs involved in this question. First, angle is semicircle. Second, tangent to circle is perpendicular to radius. So you must show me these two. You need both of these reasons in order to get 1 mark. Yeah, DE or DG, you just get 1 mark. Yeah, the reasons are the same. It is sort of symmetrical. Okay? Next, part B, prove that the two triangles are congruent. So, like always, right, we draw the two triangles, DEQ first. DEQ. And the other triangle is we draw in the same orientation, same size, DGQ. Then we label down whatever information we already have. For example, DQ and DQ, they are the same, right? So you know that one side is the same already. And then in the previous part of the question, we also recognize that there is a pair of 90 degrees. Okay? Then what is one final thing that we can identify? What else can we identify from this? What is the same in the red and blue triangle? What else is the same? Yuling, do you get this question correct? Huh? Yes. Yushen, do you get this question correct? Congruency. Do you get 6B correct? Okay, name me another either corresponding side or angle that are the same. So far we have identified one right angle and one common side. What else is the same? What do you choose? You used SAS. Ryan, what do you say? Radius. Radius meaning EQ and GQ, right? So right now, what do we have? I have a side, I have another side, I have an angle. What test is this? What test is this? I have a side, I have an angle, I have a side. Is it SAS? Or is it RHS? Which one is confirmed can work? RHS definitely works, right? Because we have a right angle triangle, a right angle, we have a hypotenuse, and I have one side. So this is a RHS test. I mean, it will definitely work. But can we consider SAS test? Yes or no? Okay, for SAS test, where is this A? It is an included angle. Do you have an included angle? Don't have. So, cannot work. Okay, If you want to use SAS test, like, okay, Yuling, what do you propose? You mean this one? So, according to Yuling, he says we can use SAS test if we say, number one, DE is equals to DG, and then you state the reason because tangents and an external point. Number two, DEQ equals to angle DGQ, which is 90 degrees because angles in a semicircle. And number three, the final one will be EQ is equals to GQ. This is because they are radius. Now, if we consider this, can we use SAS? Yes. For these three sets of evidence, we have S, A in between, and S. So if you had written down these three, you can use SAS. If you had written down only the hypotenuse and the radius and the right angle, you cannot use SAS. Understand the logic? Okay, then C part 1. For question C, generally quite well done.
So why I write DQ is a common side, they don't have I write DQ is a common side. Then here you write DQ equals to DQ common side.
DE?
No, this one. DQ is a common side. Then they never give me the mark for that part.
This is a 2-mark question. I already gave you 1 mark. Okay, C part 1, EQG. EQG is actually angle at the center, which is 2 times the angle at the circumference. This one was already given to you, 53 degrees. So answer is 106 degrees. Part 2, EQD. EQD is actually half of EQG. Okay, because those two triangles, we have already proven them to be congruent. Okay, this is because triangle DEQ congruent to triangle DGQ. That's why we can just divide by 2. Part 3, EHG. Where is angle EHG? Angle EHG is here. Okay, the red color angle. We use angles in opposite segment. This is my, do you see my cyclic quad over here? The yellow color one is the cyclic quad. Opposite angles, they are supplementary. So 180 minus 53, I will get my angle EHG. So over here, 127. And the final one, angle QEG. So again, identify where is the angle. QEG. This is the angle I need. And since these two are radius, I actually have an isosceles triangle. Then in the earlier part of the question, I already identified that this is 106 degrees. So the base angle of an isosceles triangle, quite easily calculated, 180 minus 106 divided by 2. And we get 37 degrees. Final part D. Given that DQ is 10 units, DQ over here 10 units, find the sector of EQGH. So to find the shaded area, I need to know this angle. Because area is half r squared theta. Then we can draw a triangle. So draw this triangle. We know the angle over here is 33 degrees from the previous part. Based on this, I'm trying to find the radius using cosine. Then we have all the information we need, half r squared theta for the area of the sector, or if you don't want to use radians, we use proportion. 106 degrees out of 360 degrees. That is the proportion of the shaded part. Then times pi r squared. What's your grade? What's your grade? A2 or no, overall? How many more marks do you need for your A2? I think you need at least 2 marks. Okay, now part question 7.
I question A wrong, that's why.
Yeah. Okay. No, you got 68 point something.
If I get 68 point, more than 69.5, then we'll round up to 70.
I'm not sure that according to her, Mr. Chong says it's round up. Okay, lor.
I need to get that 1 mark.
Okay, now question 7. Calculate angle ACB. So draw the triangle out, including all the correct angles. Most likely you didn't get this correct because you made careless mistakes.
Yes, I made a careless mistake. I forget to minus all.
Who needs me to go through part A, part 1?
Alternate angles. Alternate angles, then you minus 70 minus 40 equal to 30.
So Angeline, you need me to go through?
And the 3 points at ABC, draw the thing, the north-south axis. Then alternate angles.
Okay, then don't need already. So likewise for part B, also straightforward lah. Now, part B, the aerostat is a helium-filled balloon attached to a cord.
Just go down. Okay, after this I can sleep.
To monitor blah blah blah, all those irrelevant information, but we know that it floats directly above point B at a height of 400 meters. And this is the restricted zone in the shape of a cylinder. This is the top view downwards. Okay, we are not allowed to fly inside here for safety reasons. Just like your NDP, you know this year we have a lot of drones, right? There was a show put up by the drones. Then there's a restricted zone. You're not supposed to fly your drones in that area. So similar concept. So Tom, he wishes to fly from A to C at a height of 50 meters. Determine whether he'll bring his drone into the restricted zone. So justify. So I'm asking you whether this path will actually cut into the circle. Okay, that's all I'm asking. And how do we determine that? I saw many students, and that is the reason why I didn't join up with a line. If I join it up with a line and then it cuts through the circle, then all the students will say, yeah, it cuts through. Because, yeah, so most of you actually drew it in the diagram. So the question is, the problem is this is not drawn to scale. So you need to calculate. And the concept used will be, what is the shortest distance from B to this line?
Because I'm not drawn to scale, I never check my work.
So I'm asking you, what is the shortest distance as the drone flies along this path? Hello?
Hi.
As it flies along this path, what is the shortest distance to B? As long as it is smaller than the radius, that means it will cut through the restricted zone. If it is greater than the radius, then it will not cut through the restricted zone. And shortest distance will be the perpendicular distance. And that is the triangle we need to draw. So let the shortest distance be something. So in this case, I straight away calculated the shortest distance using trigonometry. Okay, from B to C we have 700 meters. And the angle between the angle ACB is 30 degrees. What we calculated earlier on. So from here, I'm trying to find the shortest distance, which is 700 times sine 30. This is smaller than 500 meters. It is smaller than the radius. So it will cut through. So its path, his path will bring it into the restricted zone. Bring the drone into the restricted zone. Yuling, did you get this correct? Oh, okay, excellent. Colin, finish the corrections? Why? What is your drawing? Because it is, the drone is flying at 50 meters.
I thought the angle of elevation is here like that one.
No, from the drone looking at the balloon.
Wait, the aerostat is...
At 500 meters. No, 400 meters.
Huh? This aerostat is the center thing.
Yeah, aerostat is at point B.
Oh, really?
Then what do you think?
I thought it's just small. This one. I didn't get aerostat. I get 2 or 3, 2 or 3.
You go and search some more. If you can find something, then you
8, 9, 10
come
full
up
mark.
to me. How late?
No, 8, 9, 10 full mark, so I don't have any.
Okay.
Cannot find now.
Then go and look at the previous questions.
This question, I cannot do vector. So you got vector worksheet. They are all
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here minus 7, 6, 5. 5, 6, 7 is how much? 5 plus 6 plus 7, 8. 18扣2分，20分。
Okay, done. Now for part 2, B part 2, he decided to fly his drone towards the aerostat. So he stops at point D. Find AD. What is this value? So to find AD, I need to find the total length of AB. Because AD is going to be AB minus 500. So the issue now is to find AB. And we can use our cosine rule because we know BC. BC over here is 700. What else do we know? 30. This is 30 degrees. And AC is 1000. Okay? With one side, one included angle, another side, I can find the length of the third side using my cosine rule. So using cosine rule, AB squared equals to AC squared plus BC squared minus 2AC BC cosine 30. Solve for AB. Then subtract 50 to get the length of AD. Yes. Why? Yeah, because 3SF lah. Ah, okay. Oh, you also put 4SF. You mean like this? Okay, then final part. The drone is now 50 meters above D. So draw a diagram to help you understand. This is the balloon. And the drone is over here. 50 meters above the ground. The balloon is 400 meters above the ground. So this distance will be 350 meters. Find the angle of elevation. Use tangent. Okay, opposite tangent of alpha, which is the angle of elevation, is opposite 350 divided by 500. Then get alpha, the angle of elevation, as 35.0 degrees. 1 dp. Okay? See and done. Okay, moving on. Question 8. Most scored full marks for 8A and 8B. A and B part 1, most of you scored full marks. So anybody needs me to explain? Anybody needs to copy our answers? Nobody raising hand, huh? So I'm moving on. B part 1, your diagram with all the values. Hang on. Okay, then B part 2, A and B. Ken, need me to go through part A or part B? Nobody. Some of you are for part B, right? Probability that there is no yellow, you did this. 1 minus probability of red, yellow, plus probability of green, yellow, plus probability of yellow, yellow. This is incorrect. Okay, one more time. Some of you did this. 1 minus probability of red, yellow, green, yellow, yellow, yellow. But you forgot some more. What about yellow, red? It should have been. Yup. There are 2 more cases that you forgot to consider if you want to do this. That's for part B. Then part C. Both are different. So according to this diagram, where are the branches that show them being the same? We have this over here, red, red. We have green, green. We have yellow, yellow. These are the three branches where two balls are of the same color. So probability that they are different colors will be 1 minus all those three highlighted probabilities. Okay, so these are the values, and you get 59 over 91. Now the next question, 9. This one was very badly done. The height, the volume of the coffee in a medium-sized cup, if it is filled completely. We are using similar triangles to solve this. If you look at the front view, okay, it looks like this. Okay, then we can divide this, and this will be 4 cm. This is 5 cm, and over here this is h. Oh, sorry, no, this is 7. Then, how I did this question is, I let the height of the small cone be h. So from here, this is h. So now we identify two similar triangles. We have a small one and a bigger one. Then we use the ratio of the dimensions will be the same. The height of the small triangle divided by, okay, height of the small triangle divided by the height of the big triangle, which is h plus 7, is equals to the base of a small triangle, 4 divided by 5. So from here we solve for h to be equals to 28. Once I know the height of the small cone, which is 28, I add that to 7 to get a total height of 35. Now I have the height of the big cone. So the volume of the coffee will now be volume of big cone minus volume of small cone. Here, volume of big cone. And here we have volume of small cone. Who's beside Ren Quan? So Yipin, you subsequent questions all got full marks, is it? Come and take this. What? Alright, now part B. I have three different sizes of coffee. Then they are geometrically similar, meaning the ratio of volumes will be the cube of the ratio of the height. Then state which one has the best value of money, justify. So the easiest way to do it, okay, there are many ways of doing it. First, as long as you show me that the ratio of the volumes is 512 to 343 to 216, you get 2 marks. Ratio of volume. So 2 lines, you get 2 marks. Then find the cost per unit volume. In this case, take note that this 512, 343, 216, they are not the actual volumes, they are just ratios. So per unit volume, for a large one, it will cost 0.0195. Then you get for all 3 of them. Then you compare. This is the easiest way to do it. You could find the actual volume, but there's no need. You will get the same answers if you are correct. Where?
1 out of 27 is 0.037, then the rest is exactly the same. For here.
1 of 27.
Yeah?
Where do you get all this from anyway?
8, 9, and 10.
Where did the 27 come from?
I divide, then I put that in fraction.
You divide what by what? I don't know what you're doing.
Same as what I do.
No. I'm asking, where do you get 1 over 27 from? How?
8 out of 216.
You didn't know, show. How much did I give you for this? Yes.
Better 2 marks.
Then why here like that? Are you sure this is correct?
Not exactly correct.
Yeah, how do you get these values anyway? But I will give you 1 more mark for this. Later you remind me about it.
Okay.
Yes?
So
3SF is 0.0370, yes. Thank you. So based on this, the large one offers the best value for money, since it costs the least per cubic centimeters or per unit volume of coffee. Okay? We have 1 more period. Then for the area, this is also a giveaway question. Area of small label over area of medium label is just 6 over 7, and then we square it. Giveaway, 1 mark. Where?
cm cubes per unit volume.
Oh, then you want to get, this one is
4
full marks. You want to get 4 marks for mistake, is it? Okay, last one. Question 10. How many of you pay your own phone bills? None. Sure not, repeat. Next time, when you all start earning money, you're going to have your own, you're going to pay your own phone bills. You're going to be deciding what to choose. What 4G10? Okay, so part A, quite okay. Many of you managed to get it already. The problem is for part B, how you present your answers neatly. Because there are a lot of numbers and multiplication and so on and so forth involved. So do it step by step. What is the total cost on 4G3 first? 4G3, we have the cost of the phone plus 24 times of 42.9. This is the monthly subscription. So this is 24 months for 2 years. We are comparing the total cost over 2 years. So this is what we expect to pay. But subsequently, if you exceed, for example, your talk time, in this case, he uses 200 minutes. But on 4G3, we only give him 150 minutes. So we take 200 minus 150, we get 50 minutes extra. Okay, this he has to pay. How much does he pay? For each minute, he has to pay an extra of 16.05 cents. So this is the rate in dollars. But it is not just 1 month. It is for 24 months. So this is for 2 years. This is for the talk time. Then we have to consider his data usage. He uses 4.5 gig a month. His plan only gives him 3 gig a month. So this is excess data. Why is that 10 to the power 6? Because 1 gig is equals to 1 million kilobytes. Okay? Convert to kilobytes from gigabyte. And this over here is the rate in dollars for data access. And we multiply it by 24. Then you get the total price to pay over 2 years. These values are the real values that I got from the telco in Singapore. So if you really choose to buy what phone is this? S8 on the 4G 3 plan, you'll be spending a total of $6,000 over 2 years. Then on the 4G 4 plan, similar, but you are spending less. Oi, the boys at the back. I give you work, right? So you can do it. Stop talking to them. For 4G 4 plan, similar calculation, but this time you will not exceed the talk time. Did not exceed talk time. And then for 4G 5 plan, nothing exceeded. So okay, this is for 2 years, right? If you want to find out per month, you just divide all these 3 answers by 24. No, you don't have to. And conclude.